Hi guys, welcome to Shweta Rohira channel. In times of Corona, we all are wondering what is going on, what is going to happen. There's a lot of fear that is in the air, obviously, because there's a lot of uncertainty. And while we are going through uncertainties, there are a lot of things that we should do, like maybe read, doodle, and I'm doing both of them. And I also believe in fairy tales. Do you believe in fairy tales? Which are your favorite fairy tales? I believe that Rapunzel and Cinderella also lived in the times of Corona. I know you're wondering how. Let's begin with Rapunzel. There was a girl who was picked up when she was a tiny little child and she was put in a tower really up there where nobody could go. So she was going through the phase of quarantine. And while she went through this phase of quarantine, of self-isolation, she obviously couldn't have a haircut. So she had these really long hair which she would plait and put it down, and the witch would climb and come up the plait, and the witch was the only person in her family whom she could meet, but she always remained positive, and the universe gave her her happily ever after. I know you're wondering how, because I will tell you how. So what happened is, one day when she put the plait down and the witch climbed up, and then after spending time with Rapunzel was going back, a prince saw this. And when the prince saw this, the prince too was very curious and climbed the plait. And when he went there, he saw this beautiful Rapunzel and he fell in love and they lived happily ever after. And Rapunzel after that also got a haircut, a nice short bob. So you see, even after self-isolation and after the times of Corona, she did have a happily ever after, and so are we all going to. The second most favorite fairy tale of mine, which I think was in the times of Corona, is Cinderella. Yes, Cinderella. And she had a happily ever after, as we all know. So she had to sanitize the entire house for her stepmother, for her stepsisters, and for herself. So all she kept doing was cleaning the whole house and sanitizing it, and you know how it is. And before, the entire city was going through a lockdown and the entire city was supposed to go through an isolation, she left her house for a party where everyone had gone, because everyone was wanting to have the last supper out before they went through the isolation. And during this time, the god fairy who did the magic to send her had told her that if she's going, she has to make sure that she's back home by 12 o'clock, because then the magic will vanish and there will be isolation period, quarantine phase. So as the clock struck 12, she ran as she had promised, and while she was running, she left her one slipper, the glass slipper, behind. And obviously when she came back home, she never thought of anything like this, but she was positive during her entire quarantine phase. And then what happened? As the phase was over and as the city was safe, the prince took the slippers and went to each and every house till he met Cinderella, and they soon wed and were happily ever after. So another happily ever after a dull phase. So I also believe that after this quarantine phase, we all are going to be positive and happy. So what is most important is not to breathe fear, not to be uncertain, just be positive, just like in fairy tales, because after everything there is a happily ever after. So guys, if you have liked my Once Upon a Time in Corona, please do like, share, subscribe, and also comment your favorite fairy tale that you are reading or you would like us to make a story on in the times of Corona, and do ring the bell.